Who runs Canada? Understanding roles in the federal government. Canada is a big country, and running it isn't an easy job. But who actually makes the decisions that affect all Canadians? In this video, we'll break down the major roles in the federal government, the people in charge of leading the country. By the end, you'll know what the Prime Minister, members of Parliament, the Cabinet, the Senate, and the Governor-General do, and how they all work together to govern Canada. Brought to you by Super Simple Sheets. From coast to coast, worksheets that work. Discover the full range of what we offer at supersimplesheets.com. The Prime Minister, the leader of the country. The Prime Minister is the head of Canada's government. This role changes depending on elections. The Prime Minister is the leader of the political party that wins the most seats in the House of Commons. A seat means a spot in Parliament, and each seat represents a different area of Canada, called a riding. The Prime Minister's job is to make big decisions about how Canada is run, represent Canada at international meetings, choose the members of the Cabinet, and work with members of Parliament to create new laws. But the Prime Minister doesn't work alone. That's where the Cabinet comes in. The Cabinet, the Prime Minister's team. The Cabinet is a group of important decision-makers chosen by the Prime Minister. Each Cabinet Minister is in charge of a different part of the government, called a ministry. For example, the Minister of Health focuses on healthcare, the Minister of Education helps with education policies, and the Minister of Finance looks after Canada's money. Cabinet ministers meet often to discuss and vote on important issues. Even though the Prime Minister is in charge, the Cabinet helps share the responsibility of running the country. Members of Parliament, representing the people. Canada is a democracy, which means people vote for leaders to represent them. The people we elect are called Members of Parliament, or MPs. There are 338 MPs in Canada, one for each riding. Their job is to listen to the concerns of people in their riding, debate, and vote on new laws, and work with their political party to make decisions. Members of Parliament meet in the House of Commons, which is part of Canada's Parliament buildings in Ottawa. You might have seen videos of MPs debating. Sometimes they even argue. But that's because they're trying to decide what's best for Canada. However, before a law is official, it has to go through the Senate. The Senate, a second look at laws. The Senate is a group of appointed officials who review new laws before they become official. Senators are not elected like MPs. Instead, they are chosen by the Prime Minister and approved by the Governor-General. The Senate's job is to look at laws carefully to make sure they are fair, represent different provinces, territories, and groups in Canada, and vote on new laws before they are finalized. Think of the Senate as the final double check before a law is made official. And speaking of official approvals, there's one more important role. The Governor-General, the representative of the King. Canada is a constitutional monarchy, which means we have a king, King Charles III. But since the king doesn't live in Canada, he has a representative called the Governor-General. The Governor-General is chosen by the Prime Minister and approved by the King. Their job is to officially approve new laws, represent Canada at special events, and read the speech from the throne, which explains the government's plans. Even though the Governor-General has an important role, they do not make laws or political decisions. Their job is mostly symbolic, meaning they represent Canada without directly controlling the government. How it all works together. So let's do a quick recap of who runs Canada. The Prime Minister leads the country and makes big decisions. The Cabinet Ministers help run different government departments. Members of Parliament represent Canadians and vote on laws. The Senate reviews and approves laws to make sure they are fair. The Governor-General represents the King and gives final approval. All these roles work together to make sure Canada is governed fairly and effectively. Now that you know who runs Canada, which role do you think is the most important? Thanks for watching. Simplify your teaching journey with Super Simple Sheets. Across Canada, we're known for our ready-to-use, curriculum-aligned worksheets. Dive into our educational solutions at supersimplesheets.com. Super Simple Sheets. From coast to coast, worksheets that work.